seu silêncio dissesse tudo, sentimento bom que me leva pro outro mundo. A vontade de te ver já é maior que tudo. Não existem distâncias no meu novo mundo, tipo coisas da sétima.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. This is the Clint Cronin Show. It's, I think, November 25th, 2017. And I'm just cruising down the Highway 160 from Pahrump, Nevada, heading over to Las Vegas right now. Gonna go get a nice little workout in. Don't think there's too much in terms of jiu-jitsu open today. Maybe I might find an open mat or something, but otherwise we're gonna go hit some weights, do a little run, get some nice cardio in, maybe some deadlifts, a little kettlebell here and there, something fun. Anyway, in Nevada, just having Thanksgiving dinner with my mom, my brother. Had a good time. Didn't do any of the Black Friday stuff except for wantversusneed.com. Had to hit up my good friend Al Ligura, you know, the Want versus Need Geese, the rash guards, best in the business. He's a local San Jose guy. He's got my back. He always hooks me up real good. So I want to make sure that everybody up there, you know, is getting hooked up as well. He's got the best stuff around. The releases are all pretty much limited right now. You know, once I'm able to, you know, maybe do like a coupon or something like that and pass it on to you guys, I'll let you know. But right now it's real limited. But if you do happen to get something on wantversusneed.com, make sure you heard about it right here on the Clint Cronin Show, and you know, we'll figure out a way to make something cool. It was actually a really cool story. I was over at the Want versus Need headquarters, factory, office, whatever you want to call it, and I was telling him, you know, I wasn't real happy with the logo I have for the podcast, just for my stuff in general. So I had this idea in my head of, you know, what a logo would look like and kind of how I wanted it to sort of be. And he's one of these, you know, creative genius types, man. He opened up his Adobe Illustrator. I think that's the program he uses, and just started going off based on what I told him, like how I saw it in my head. He basically took basically what I said to him in no less than, you know, 50 words or something like that, just a couple sentences, and just started drawing it. And he literally was able to crank out a logo exactly as I described it, and it couldn't have taken him more than a half hour just sitting there messing around. I think he actually even kind of, you know, went and made a font for it. I mean, he sat there, and I know how Photoshop works. I know how Illustrator works. Like, I get it on that level, but I don't have that artistic ability in terms of actually taking a pen or a tablet or stylus or however it is and putting it to paper, to digital and canvas, and really cranking something out. I want to say I am somewhat artistic because I believe jiu-jitsu is an art, and I believe that, you know, my game has evolved into something that would resemble it. And that just might be my own high opinion of myself there, but you know, it's in terms of drawing stuff, in terms of, you know, music and that sort of thing, I never quite had that ability, that talent, even on a basic level. I mean, for as long as I've been playing the guitar, I should actually be good by now. I mean, I have an electric guitar. I play with it sometimes. I know a couple chords. I can play some scales, stuff like that. But in terms of even when I was practicing quite a bit, it's some people just have it and some people don't. And it sounds like a cop out because I learned through just all the drilling and day after day for, you know, last 13 or God knows how many years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that you can get better through practice. But I mean, I'm not Marcelo Garcia, right? I'm not Michael Jordan. I played basketball as a kid. I had fun. But I just, you know, there's some people that are going to be phenoms and just, you know, true artists at a particular, you know, hobby or a particular art form, I should say. And, you know, when it comes to that sort of stuff, I'm just not one of them. But Al Ligura for Want versus Need, he's super talented, great guy. I really appreciate, he's always, you know, sort of supported guys like Gumby, Alan Marquez from Heroes Martial Arts, on the mat, you know, OTM, and Mike Prudencio from One World Jiu-Jitsu, you know, my main instructor. Two guys that have been instrumental to my own martial arts career and my own, development as a martial artist, as an adult too. And Al and Want vs. Need in general, as a local brand, he's always hooked those guys up, made sure they always had gear, always supported, whatever stuff we were doing or what they were doing. So I always really appreciated that loyalty. He's got this, this group. If you guys know what Show Your Roll's Guma is, which is a pretty cool thing. It means like house, or like kind of house brand, and I guess it's tomorrow, or kind of tangent there, but basically what Al Legura over at Want vs. Need has is something called HBA, which is Homies Before All, which is it's pretty cool. So it's like a group of friends that are all sort of into the whole jiu-jitsu scene. They're into the gis, and these guys they love him to death because they see his passion for the designs and all the artwork and everything like that. So when I had him on the podcast, we really got to know the guy. I got to see how passionate he was about jiu-jitsu, but about it in general. And I've been a fan of his video work, dating all the way back to his jiu-jitsu battle stuff back in the day when he was doing some stuff with Show Your Roll and really recording people's jiu-jitsu matches. And he's just a real talented guy. He puts a lot of heart into everything he does. Super loyal guy to all his friends and family. So for me to be doing some stuff with him, and he's always reposting my stuff on Instagram. And so if you see me on my Instagram promoting his stuff, it's just it's a respect thing, it's a friendship thing, and it's an appreciation thing. He's definitely hooked me up. He made sure I had all my stuff for US Open, which is a few weeks ago, which I haven't really got to talk about yet. So let's segue into that. US Open, man, the first time it was at the legendary Cow Palace Arena, and to me it's just an important venue because everyone knows I'm a professional wrestling fan, pro wrestling fan. I went through pro wrestling training with Pro Wrestling Revolution out of San Jose, which is kind of an offshoot or a spin-off of All Pro Wrestling, APW. Anybody that's ever seen Beyond the Mat or is really into pro wrestling, like the West Coast scene or the Northern California scene, knows, sort of how important APW is. And any pro wrestling fan sort of dating back over the years, they know what the Cow Palace was to pro wrestling. It was basically the Madison Square Garden of the West, basically from the 60s all the way to damn near present. There was it definitely is the pro wrestling industry backed off as territories sort of died down in favor of sort of like one or two big companies, then one big company. It just wasn't used the same way anymore. The building wasn't used as prominently as it once was. But All Pro Wrestling APW has definitely been using the venue more often. And it's everybody in the Bay Area. It's where the gun shows are. It's where HempCon is and stuff like that. You're the Cannabis Cup, or the Exotic Erotic, stuff like that. But All Pro Wrestling has put on two amazing events in the last year over there. The Cow Palace Royale, and then most recently there was an event where they brought in Rey Mysterio Jr., who's a huge star worldwide, starting in Mexico, the United States as well. Back in the day, you had Elvis performing there. You had, Hulk Hogan on the pro wrestling side, dating all the way back to some of the real greats. I'm sure, guys like Roddy Piper, going back, Pat Patterson back in the day. I mean, this is from the 60s to damn near present, as I said. So for the U.S. Open to be there, for jiu-jitsu guys that aren't familiar with, with the history like this, for all the people competing there, you guys should know that you're competing in a very legendary arena, in a very important place, very historic place. Next time you're there, take a little walk along that first level where the concessions are. Look at all the pictures on the wall of all the legendary performers that have been there and sort of graced that building and put on some amazing shows. I remember watching Hulk Hogan versus Mr. Perfect, WWF or WWE show, back on TV in like 1989 or 1990. So I grew up in New Jersey, been in the Bay Area for 14 years now, something like that. But when I was a little kid, I used to go to Madison Square Garden, and like to the people on the West Coast, that's the Mecca. But to the pro wrestling fans that really know their history, it's like as big as MSG was to the fans of the Northeast territories. Man, the Cow Palace is the West Coast equivalent for at least to the wrestling fans. So that's the importance of the Cow Palace to me, knowing the people that I grew up idolizing. from Hulk Hogan and Elvis, all these different people. Mr. Perfect, big Kurt Hennig fan. To be able to go out there, U.S. Open, bring my team with me. So I always like competing at these BJJ Tour events. A lot of respect for Claudio França. Nathan Mendelsohn is like, he's like their headliner guy. He's a good friend and he's an amazing competitor. So, I like how the tournaments are organized. I feel, you got Christina Barlan and other great officials there. Keishinyo's a great referee there. I feel like it's everything's on the up and up there. I trust the referees. I trust the officiating there. It's very organized. Things tend to run more closer to on time than some other events that I've seen. So, I always like to do the U.S. Open. That's the one a year that I don't miss. And this year was no different, especially Cow Palace. Everybody knows, been listening. My health over the course of the summer wasn't the best, so it's been kind of the goal has been, okay, you got the diabetic thing, you got the diabetes thing. Let's get the blood sugar going. Let's figure out where the correct weight is for the most optimal diet, and let's by that November date. Let's get there. Let's get on the mat. Let's just do what we can do. I've been training with some of the best people you can find since I got my black belt, and is my cardio what it should be? No, it's just learning this weight, learning the size, the strength, coming back from losing quite a bit of weight with the learning you're a diabetic, but going undiagnosed for months, but getting the training in, improving day by day, trying to work harder and harder and smarter, right? It's 34 years old, not 21. It's a different thing. The game changes a little bit, but you try to evolve, try to improve, and try to dig down deep and just think about what works, what doesn't. Try to reflect honestly, and I try to roll with people that are just better than me. You need to get pushed. You can't ever get too complacent. Thinking you're the best at your gym or you're the best out of your group of friends. That doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. It probably means you're playing safe and you're avoiding the hard stuff. And you can't do that. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to get tapped. You have to get tapped. I went out. It was cool because I talked to my students, my 6:30 a.m. class, and I got to teach some of the evening classes over the last few months, and I laid it out to my students like, hey, let's go out there. We'll do it together. You guys want to compete? I encourage it. We'll go out there. I'll be right there with you on the mat. And we'll do it together. We'll go be champions together. I'll see you on the podium, right? Let's do it. Let's put in the training. Let's come in early. Let's do extra 6:30 a.m. classes. So everybody knows I'm the 6:30 a.m. guy over at AKA at the Sunnyvale gym. I've been running the program, over 6 years now, and I've got the most dedicated, loyal, hardworking, just great attitude, great people in that class, and it's a real honor and privilege to go out there and train with them, train them, teach them, learn from them too, and be able to go out there to battle. So one of my white belts hadn't competed before. She's still pretty new. Lala, this Persian girl. It was her first time competing, and I was like, all right, well, you're gonna do it, I'll do it too. So it was funny. I wound up coaching. It's a 2-day event, so I wound up coaching a very long day and night on Saturday. Then Sunday morning, my division was scheduled to go at 9 a.m. My weight class was super heavyweight and black belt master 1, right? So it was scheduled to go at 9 a.m. And I'm thinking, well, no one signed up, so I'm going to wind up just doing the absolute. So it's okay. I can stay a little bit later and coach a little bit later. The UFC event was on, that night. So I was like, all right, well, I'll catch some of the main card stuff, but I'm not gonna really go out and eat and drink with the crew. I'm probably just gonna catch the fights at home. But I don't think I got home until 10 o'clock at night because some of the divisions run pretty late, and I want to make sure I'm there to support the team. I know what it's like to be out there not, having a coach. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes you go compete alone. Sometimes you go out there and your coach has to decide between two different matches at the same time, or they're already coaching someone else and they call your division. They try to run 8 to 10 matches, some of these things at the same time. So basically, It's 8 something in the morning. I arrive at the venue at Cow Palace. I'm coming up from Sunnyvale, which is like 45-minute drive up the 280. I'm feeling good, ish. You can feel a little, a little tickle in my throat starting because it was kind of cold in the Cow Palace. It's a big kind of arena, set up there, and I don't know if they had the heat on necessarily. It was getting kind of chilly outside, so I was there a little late. The night before, coaching and supporting the team, stuff like that, and I get there, and it's cash only to park. You have to pay $15 to park, and I'm trying to find an ATM that's open. Didn't think about it beforehand. Should have thought about it. I had a million other things in my mind. Here's something for you. Make sure anytime you compete, you always have a little bit of cash on you. You never know. Always have water on you. You never know. Always have that driver's license on you. You never know. So for me, I rock a fanny pack. For the podcasting stuff, and if you're competing in jiu-jitsu, you don't want to be the guy losing your driver's license, leaving it on the damn table. You want to make sure you got it all together. You don't want to be scrambling for stuff. So you got your headphones, you got your phone, you got your cash, you got your wallet, whatever. Fanny pack for tournament, that's what you do. For jiu-jitsu in general, it's just cool. It's good in general to have it. You got your mouth guard in there. You could have extra tape in there, whatever you need, a little of that liquid bandage, whatever you got to do. It's a good thing to carry with you. Sometimes the backpack's too much, and you want to keep that stuff separate because if you got a gi to take care of and all this, all your stuff getting lost in there, and just having that fanny pack, you don't have to worry about fashion, right? We're already wearing adult pajamas, jiu-jitsu gis. We're all adults. It's not a fashion show, even though those gis from Womp vs. Need are pretty damn sweet. Cheap plug, right? It's good to be organized. It's good to have your stuff together. So hindsight being 2020, should have had that $15 on me. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to negotiate a little bit with the parking attendant this guy was not wanting to be negotiated with. He ain't hearing a damn thing I'm telling him. I'm saying, look, I'll leave you with my driver's license, with my phone, whatever you need. I know there's an ATM right inside the Cow Palace. I paid the $15 yesterday. I didn't realize the parking pass didn't work for 2 days. Yeah, I did. That's a little bit of a white lie. However, I was just trying to get through the damn thing. This is not appealing to his sense of sympathy, remorse, or anything such thing. He's saying, nope, you got to turn around and go to the liquor store. And I said, I'm afraid to tell you, sir, that liquor store is not open at 8 a.m. There ain't no such thing as liquor store at 8 a.m. That ATM is closed. I was driving up and down that damn street in front of the Cow Palace for quite a while trying to find an ATM to get the $15. Now it's coming time to where they're about to hit that national anthem. I'm about to get on that mat and lay the smack down. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit frustrated at this point. I'm trying to search for quarters, whatever the hell I can find. And lo and behold, Mr. Jian Lee. This martial artist, he's got the traditional martial arts, got the Taekwondo karate background. He and his wonderful girlfriend Bree were in the car behind me with their family, and the whole crew. I didn't realize in the car right behind me as I'm sitting here trying to swindle my way through the gate. He said, I'll cover it, and he paid. And as prideful as I am, I had Venmo'd his ass that $15 before I even stopped the car. So, hats off. Thank you, Gian. You saved the day. Here's how close it came. I walked in through that door, got in, looked around, and all of a sudden, national anthem time. I looked at the flag, put my hand over my heart, and, I looked around and I realized this is the national anthem. At the Cow Palace, at the U.S. Open, the United States Open Jiu-Jitsu tournament, and I'm about to perform on this stage, this arena where so many of my heroes have performed before. And if I win, I'm a champion. So I have the ability right now, I have the chance to become a champion at the U.S. Open, at the Cow Palace. And this is just like, I'm not nervous at this point. I'm just stoked. I'm happy. I'm ready to go. I feel great. And as soon as that happens, I hear Clint Cronin. I was like, wait a minute. That sounds like my name. Well, I guess they're just calling me over there to tell me I don't have an opponent. I get over there. I had an opponent, and it was my opponent from. It was a guy I faced the previous year, and he decided that he wanted to come up in weight by one weight category. I guess he came from heavyweight to super heavyweight, and he wanted to I guess avenge his prior defeat. This is a cool dude. All right, this is a cool guy. He's been a black belt quite some time. I won last year by points. I had got him. I don't recall the exact score, but I recall being in top position. I passed and was in side control and all kinds of stuff like that. But he's tough. He's got great grips. He's got great hip movements, great triangles. And I watched one of his Pan Am tournaments last year after we competed. I think his name is. I'll have to post. I think it's Robles or Robles last name. Mind is just lapsing right now, so I'm trying to do this lapel mic thing as I drive across this canyon. I want to make sure I'm paying attention. So if the recording quality isn't wonderful on any of this stuff, I do apologize. I'm going to have to edit out some background noise as I'm driving across the canyon right now. So I think it's David Robles, David Alexander Robles. I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm sorry, brother. You got balls of steel and you're tough. I faced him last year, and at the very end of the match, he almost got my ass in the triangle. I have pretty good triangle choke defense, right? So I was okay last year. So this year, I find out that I have an opponent now, and I haven't had a chance to warm up. I'm basically changing my damn pants right before I weigh in. I'm like, I gotta go fight right now. No one's even here yet. It's barely even 9 a.m. National anthem, and all of a sudden they called me, and now I am the first match of the day on Sunday for the U.S. Open, black belt super heavyweight Master 1. Here's my opponent. Go do this damn thing. So my warm-up is literally my match with my opponent. We shake hands and we get down. Suffice to say, I was able to pull out the victory by points. Can't finish this guy. It's frustrating because I won last year, and I'm like, all right. So I have it in my mind. I have the confidence now because I've already done this, and at this level at black belt, I don't get the same butterflies. I used to get tunnel vision when I was blue belt, white belt, and all this stuff competing. I'd get tunnel vision. I'd get real nervous, real nervous. Butterflies. I'd get that adrenaline's up. Now I see a crowd, see all these people around, and it's just cool. It was a really happy time. Just to be able to be out there in front of my friends, and who was there is my teammate Jesse Lechuga. This guy has been there. He's been with me since white belt. We've been training together for years and years and years. He's my neighbor. He's always supported everything I do. He's always had my back through good health, bad health, through my split up, going through my divorce and stuff like that. Came by, dropped off food on Christmas every year. They make tamales. He's a Cuban guy, Cuban immigrant. He's always been a great friend to me. He's an older dude, but he's been around since for guys that are aware of sort of jiu-jitsu, lineage, different people, or history in the Bay Area or just in general. He was around since I think Dave Camarillo was a blue belt over at Ralph Gracie. So since mid-90s, he was training at Mountain View Ralph Gracie Academy. Not consistently, he took some time on, time off. But he's my first purple belt promotion. So as a black belt, he's the first guy I promoted to purple belt. Depending on the order of he's either my first or second promotion total that day. Because I've been a black belt 2 years. The first year I wasn't really promoting anyone. This year, promotions, I gave out a couple belts, and Jesse has been a staple of the 6:30 a.m. class. It's his damn fault there's a class to begin with. I'll get into that one day. Maybe I'll have him on. I think that'd make a lot of sense. But just in terms of just someone give me solid advice, and you need that. You need somebody that's already been through the shit. I always feel like you need those 3 groups of friends, right? Don't take this the wrong way. I feel like having the back in the day friends, the people you grew up with, your roots, don't forget who you are. But then you want people that are on your same level now, that have already, they're going through the same sorts of things as you. They have similar goals, similar aspirations. You want those friends. But then having that group that have already done it, they've already, succeeded, and now it's just like, it takes, you got dirt bikes in front of me that are kind of loud, so hopefully that's not drowning this thing out too much. Let them get some space on me. Hopefully that's not too noisy in the back of the podcast there. Anyway, where I was saying is you want those three groups, and that last group is going to be people that have already sort of done it, people that are older, more experienced, they've already succeeded. Because what happens then is, whatever your goal is, it doesn't seem so impossible, right? Because with anything, there's going to be lots of failure. You trial error. You're not going to always, knock it out of the park on your first shot. That's not realistic, right? Any goal or any dream you got, when you got a dream, then you got somebody that's like a mentor in your life. They've already accomplished it. It's not just a dream. It becomes tangible because these people have already done it. So it becomes a series of steps. Here's how I did it. Step 1, step 2, step 3. They've already succeeded in a similar way, on a similar path. It's having that mentor type in your life. It's important. It doesn't always have to be fuck the world. Nobody believes in me. I can do it. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. It doesn't have to be about that. It has to be about proving you right. It's about affirmation of your dreams, but leave some room. Leave some room to be wrong. Don't get so married to ideas, right? Everybody has beliefs, like that movie Dogma, right? The end. Don't want to spoil it, but it's beliefs. Beliefs kill people, but ideas, ideas they can adapt and evolve and change as they need to. Anyway, I'm on a damn tangent. Spoiler alert, I won, right? Gold medal, US Open. I only had one opponent. I was looking at doing the absolute, but like I said the night before, I was already feeling I had a cold coming on. By the time the damn match was over, I was all kinds of not good. I had the chills, just felt like absolute shit. Got some water in me, a little bit of Tylenol and whatever. But I stuck around, coached. But by the time it was the absolute division came around, it was also my one student who hadn't competed before. We'd been coaching quite a bit. It was time for her to go up and do her first white belt match. It was I wanted to make sure I was there for my students to coach. I felt like, yes, I could have went and done absolute, and there was some. There was more people in that division, I think. But at that point, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, all right, I just won a damn gold medal at US Open at black belt. I'm like, all right, I feel good. I plan to compete more often. As my body allows it, I want to be smart. I've got to, pay attention to all this, diabetes stuff, right? I just have my second appointment at the endocrinologist. My levels look good. They look promising, right? But I have to keep up with it. I have to go back another 3 months, keep doing the blood work, and just make sure that my diet's on the right path. The sugar's poison, and not just to people with diabetes, right? So my thing is totally genetic. My dad had it, his brothers and sisters and all that stuff. They had it. It ain't down a diet. I didn't sit there and just eat a bunch of crap and all of a sudden become diabetic one day, right? I watched my weight. I got six-pack abs year fucking round. And to anybody out there that's like, well, I saw you drinking Diet Coke. Well, there's no sugar in it. I sit there and monitor my blood sugar. There's nothing. And yeah, the diet soda is fucking bad for you. Don't drink it. But I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't do something if I do it. Every once in a while, I like to have a Diet Coke. We had it in the house when I was growing up, so I'm used to the taste. My dad drank it because he couldn't have his regular stuff. And anyway, in terms of like candies, cakes, sugar, any of that stuff, like, and even carbs, right? Like a lot of carbohydrates, I can't eat that stuff. So, one small thing that I enjoy, from time to time. Too fucking bad. Preach to somebody else. If it sounds hypocritical, cool. That's my thing. I don't smoke. I don't I don't do drugs. Whatever. I just I do jujitsu. I train. I try to eat right, and then occasionally I have like a Diet Coke here and there. It's like, so fucking sue me. I'll probably cut it out too in favor of water because I'm kind of over the taste of it. But it's it has nothing to do with it. It's a hereditary type thing. But bottom line on the diabetes thing, my levels look good, and my body is still producing insulin naturally. And there's two levels in the blood that are supposed to be out of range if you have type 1 diabetes. Mine are still in like an acceptable range, so the doctors are still trying to figure out like what the deal is. And it's at this point it might still be up in the air if I'm on the insulin for the rest of my life. I might not be. I could beat this thing. It could somehow be type 2. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm looking very closely into doing the ketogenic diet and seeing if this thing might just be reversible. So, who the hell knows? There was so the very next week after U.S. Open, right? I was honored, really honored to be a part of my very first to teach my very first seminar, or like to contribute anyway. It's a terrible story. I have a lot of friends and a lot of students, a lot of training partners that are both military and law enforcement. I have a lot of police that are training partners of mine, and friends and all that sort of thing. Students as well. Sounds a little redundant. Just said that shit, right? Anyway, in San Francisco about a month ago, maybe a little bit more, there was a hit and run where one of the officers was actually ran down and ran over and put into critical condition. How bad a shape he's in, or all that sort of thing. Let's just say it ain't good. I don't know how much of it's public information, but Officer Elliot Tankel, right? Lewin Tankel. He's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and I believe he's a brown belt as well. And we got a lot of mutual friends. My good friend and somebody I respect a lot in the martial arts community, Tess Casey. Her husband is a real good friend of this officer, and so she, along with all the people over there at his academy, and we put on a seminar, a benefit seminar for him, raised damn near $6,000. TV came over and covered it. It was pretty cool. I had people pinging me saying, "Hey, I saw you on TV." I was great. Put the word out there, this about the benefit, and hopefully raise some more money. But the guy was ran over. The guy, hit and run, and whether or not the guy's in jail or anything like that, I don't know the full details, and I don't know if it's public anyway. But it's a damn shame. But it was a beautiful thing seeing how many people came out there to support this guy, to really bond together. Every single time there's anything like this, the jiu-jitsu community comes together from far and wide and steps up. And I was just honored to be able to contribute in any way that I could as a member of the community and as a black belt. I felt honored to be thought of as one of the instructors there. So I showed some shoulder lock stuff that I'm very fond of. I'm a big, geek when it comes to shoulder locks and sort of maybe more obscure submissions and things like that. So to be able to share my sort of spin on jiu-jitsu, on the shoulder submissions, it was a really cool thing, and I was just felt real humbled to sort of be a part of it. Some real, I learned a lot of cool stuff, and I was real proud of my own team, the One World Jiu-Jitsu, aka Sunnyvale crew. My own morning students, and one of my fellow black belts over at One World, Vu Tran. Everybody for coming over and and showing support. I put the word out. We're all there volunteering. No one's getting paid for this stuff. It's like I'm not like plugging the seminar as a way to go make sure people are paying me. It's the people come out, and I just wanted to show solidarity, and I just wanted to really pack that building, and just so everybody really feels the love, and the Officer Elliott really feels the love, and knows that we care about him. We're praying for his recovery, and we just really wanted to do whatever we can, and it was my first seminar, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I love teaching. To me, teaching jiu-jitsu, it just, no matter how bad or shitty I feel, or whatever's going on in my personal life, or with work type stuff, or going through a divorce, right? It's always been this thing where it's just it just feels good. I'm able to share something that's very important to me, something I love very much, and this case was no different. I'm very happy with the outcome there, and my thoughts and prayers go out to Officer Elliott. Man, we're not that tight. I don't know that we've rolled before, but you're part of the community, and we hope you heal up real soon, get back on the mat. And once again, thanks Tess, and your husband as well, your whole family for thinking of me, and inviting me to be a part of that. I'm glad I can contribute. I mean, I was real, just humbled. There's some real talent. I learned a lot of really cool shit, really cool stuff. I'm in Las Vegas today. I'm hoping to get down and see Mr. Robert Drysdale on Monday. Probably not for a podcast, but selfishly to get out there in the mat and learn some stuff. He's an amazing instructor. I always learn really cool stuff, and get to battle with some real warriors. I've got to roll with Robert a couple times now, and man, he's a badass. he's just a legitimate badass. Bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me, better wrestler, better technique, world champion, ADCC champion. Just a bad mamma jam all the way around. So, and a real cool guy. If you watch the podcast or any interview with Robert Drysdale, period, preferably the Clint Cronin show with Robert Drysdale. However, there's lots of other interviews that are really cool. He's a half Brazilian, half United States American, right? So it's a cool perspective, especially for the jiu-jitsu fans out there that wonder what it's like on the other side there in Brazil. And he has the dual perspectives of different parts of his life, so it's definitely a cool interview to check out, and a cool guy, and a cool gym to check out. One of our blue belts, a good friend of mine, Mr. Tom from Sunnyvale, aka, is in town as well, so I'm gonna hopefully get to drag him over there to come train with me as well. He's somewhere around the Las Vegas Valley visiting as well. He's got some in-law family out here, so that should be pretty cool. I got a call the other day from good friend Ramin to come get some rolls in, help out with Mr. Jake Shields' fight camp, getting ready for the Submission Underground bout, EBI style rules. And I don't know how much help I was to Jake Shields, but it was freaking awesome getting to train with him. That guy's a badass. I went in there with no warm up, just man, that guy's a badass. He just, in terms of no-gi, I'm definitely more of a gi grappler, and Jake Shields is a world killer. He's on a whole other level. Anybody that doubts his abilities is a fool. I'm not comparing him to anybody that I've rolled with or that I've trained with or I've been around, but I will say he is up there. God damn, he's a tough guy. Very cool guy as well. Saw my Instagram at Clint Cronin, so we had a little picture in there. Brought my real good friend and Clint Cronin show regular, the Ninja Realtor, Nima Moridi, with me. No, he's a huge MMA fan. He's a good friend of mine, and I knew he would be very stoked to be included. So I got the call, and I'm like, Nima's just about the right body type for this. He'd really enjoy this. So I was like, all right, let me give him a call, see if he wants to come up as well. So that was definitely a cool thing. I was real happy to be able to be like, hey, check this out. Let's see, what else? We talk around Halloween time. Yeah, I went out and did the whole Halloween thing in LA, EBI. Yeah, we talked about that in the last podcast. That was fun. I did way more Halloween stuff than I had previously in previous years, since I'm probably a little kid. Probably more than when I'm a little kid, right? So you're a little kid, you just wander around in a Halloween costume, get a bunch of candy and shit. But this went to the haunted houses in LA and San Jose and God knows where else. It was just a fun time. It's cool, relax a little bit. I was in Seattle recently. Bellevue's a cool town to go and visit. Just kind of tooled around up there. Had some nice steak dinners. That was cool. What else? Oh man, the pro wrestling side of things. Wrestle Kingdom 12 is featuring the cleaner Kenny Omega from the Bullet Club against Chris Jericho. So planning to head out there for that. And just check out Tokyo in general. Haven't been to Japan, right? It's crazy. I haven't been to Japan. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Hong Kong. Have not been to Japan. So looking forward to that. Good friend and fellow One World Black Belt Andy Hung is out there right now. Just saw him take an Instagram picture of it was a One World Jiu-Jitsu sticker on the door of the Asami store, and I think Fuki put that on there, but that was pretty cool. Just we out there, we're all around. About to hit up Torpedo Comics in Las Vegas real quick, see if they're open. It's the coolest spot. The drummer of System of a Down, fucking amazing band, owns that place. They've got like this multi-million-dollar comic book collection, from the first Spider-Man to all kinds of other vintage books. Just want to kind of go in there real quick and check those guys out. It's a place I like to. It's not just that they have the vintage books, it's that the color on them is just vivid. The books have been preserved so well, and just they got this Gotham, I think it's like Gotham Vault or Gotham Central Bank or something. It's this sort of vault, bank vault in the back. It's a whole thing meant to look like, the classic Gotham City Bank or something like that. And you go inside and it's this whole display. And if you've been to a Comic-Con on the West Coast, I'm sure you've seen Torpedo Comics layout. But yeah, they've got a fantastic collection of vintage comic books. And if you're a comic book person and visiting Las Vegas, screw the Strip. You got to check out Torpedo. I mean, you can only drink and party so much, but just seeing stuff that's a part of history like that, and to me, that's history, right? You're talking 75 plus years of Batman and Superman, and you can go back and see like a chronicle of that as, in pristine condition over the years, just to see like, what the roots are, of something that's, been such a staple to me since I'm a kid. All right. We just had Thor Ragnarok, me and Aaron Ryan podcast, Nerd Kwando. Check Matt Black Belt, good friend, training partner. We talked about Thor Ragnarok, and he and I also we went down and saw the premiere of the Justice League movie, the press premiere, courtesy of Warner Brothers. So thank you, right? DC Warner Brothers hooked that up, so that was amazing. I love the movie. I think people that are overly critical of these movies, these pretentious like pro Yelp type reviews of movies featuring Superman and Batman, they're silly. You're silly people. You're just going out of your way to show people how silly and petty you can be. I mean, these people are putting their everything into making these movies, and they're meant to be fun. They're meant to be for kids. And then, they're meant to appeal to the kid inside of us, like the kid in us, right? Like the nostalgia part. Come on, it's not meant to be the way you guys are reviewing it's just too much. You guys are ridiculous. I think you're like a lot of these people that are just recreationally upset at everything, that just want to disagree with something, that just want to shit all over something. You're too cool for Superman and Batman. Just do yourself a favor, and do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. Justice League was a tremendous movie. Was Batman v Superman the greatest movie in the world? No, but neither was Thor. The Thor movie, I mean, it was goofy. It was cool for kids. Lots of jokes, haha, whatever. But I mean, the Justice League movie, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was just a fun time. I thought The Flash was really good. This is the first time I really thought this actor that played Superman like really knocked it out of the park. And I think just in general, I see like all these negative reviews, and they're uncalled for. It's a tremendous movie. It's a lot of fun. Families, you can take your kids there. And if you're a comic book fan, if you're a DC fan, go. It's worth it. And try to have some fun. Seriously, try to have some fun. You don't have to frown at everything and shit all over everything. I think everybody's just unnecessarily negative, just negative about things in general. Try being positive. If for whatever reason, everybody has to complain about things, I'm sorry you're unhappy. But it's not Batman's fault. It's not Superman's fault, I promise. Justice League movie was fucking fun. It was tremendous. Let's see. What else is up? Jiu-jitsu's been fun lately, right? Just really enjoying the gi stuff, the no gi stuff. Been enjoying, visiting different gyms. The podcast has given me just sort of tremendous opportunities to meet, roll with some of my jiu-jitsu heroes and people you consider legends, all that stuff. So it really opened up my game a lot. It really opened up my eyes. So it's been really cool. I see tomorrow at Gracie Academy in Torrance, they're having the Metamorphosis event, right? The proceeds are meant to go towards paying some of the athletes that didn't get paid. Main event is, I believe, Halleck Gracie against Gordon Ryan. Man, Gordon Ryan's a badass, right? This guy, this Danaher Death Squad, or man, it's next level stuff. That style they're doing down there in New York at Henzo's under Danaher. It's some next level stuff. It's going to be an interesting match. It's going to be a difficult match. Nice gentleman right here blocking traffic. If you're going to block traffic, maybe you should put on your emergency flash or something like that. Man. And to those wondering, I'm wearing a lapel mic right now. Both hands are on the steering wheel. So, I am paying attention as I drive this vehicle. I don't want anyone to think I'm unsafely podcasting and driving. That would be irresponsible. Totally irresponsible. I wouldn't do such a horrible, deplorable thing. So, I had a little Black Friday experience, right? I went to Walmart on, what was it, Thanksgiving night? And I guess Walmart's Black Friday stuff started that morning. So Thanksgiving morning at 12:01 a.m. So they didn't close. Feel bad for people over there. Thanksgiving, it's a time when you're supposed to spend it with your family and all that stuff. But these guys are stuck in the goddamn store selling stuff people don't need to people that are in some kind of damn frenzy for whatever. And I saw people fighting over TV sets and all kinds of shit. Like I don't quite understand it. I mean, it's cool that people are still shopping locally, but I mean, it's the best analogy I see is Thanksgiving is the time of year where everybody gives thanks and everybody says how thankful they are for all that they have and for all and then the next day they run out to go and buy more shit. I probably misspoke and said all that stuff wrong, but what I'm basically trying to say is it's like you're so thankful that you need another fucking computer monitor or TV or I think the big gimmick this year at the Walmart was the PlayStation 4 and one of the iPhones is on some sale, which is cool. I can't. I'm bad at receiving like or Christmas gifts or holiday gifts and stuff like that, and I don't think I need anything. I really don't think I need anything. I mean, I don't have like this fear of missing out or anything like that. I got jujitsu gis, so I know a lot of people like getting those things that are in that scene, and I don't really play video games, and it's not that I think better than video game people or anything like that. It's just after the 2D stuff, all the 3D sort of video games, where you can kind of Call of Duty, that sort of thing, and I maybe it's not really 3D, but what I mean is where you can kind of look around in the environment. The Z-axis, I think, is what it's called. I get kind of nauseous, so it never really appealed to me, and I never really played that stuff. So after the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo games, I backed off. I just don't really play video games. It's cool to people that do. I have friends that they were in business. They had businesses and things like that revolving around like the Madden type tournaments and things like that. And that's cool. It's cool if you enjoy it. That's awesome. I'm into jiu-jitsu. I really don't even watch sports that much. I have my teams, right? I have teams that I grew up liking, that my parents' family were into, my brothers are into. But me, I like jiu-jitsu. I like to watch MMA. I'm into pro wrestling. I don't watch it as much as I'd like to. I don't have that much time on my hands. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV either. I have shows that I like, but I'm behind on all of them, with the exception of Stranger Things Season 2, which was just tremendous. But so the Black Friday thing, I don't really get it, and I'm not trying to shit on it. I mean, it's cool if it's fun to you to go out there and to find deals on stuff. There's something you want, and that's cool. I'm not going to shit on materialism. I'm not going to sit here and act like holier than thou and any of that sort of thing. If you're into that, that's cool. But I didn't get it. I had to go to Walmart because I needed a contact lens solution and a case because I wanted to take my contacts out before I went to bed. So I had to go in there real quick. But just seeing people like kind of crowd around the electronics and stuff like that for, whatever discount. Here's a tip. You don't need Black Friday for this shit. If you go on Slick Deals, there's an app, there's a forum, there's dealcatcher.com and Slick Deals, the app. Whenever there's like a real good deal on whatever, you can set alerts on whatever you're looking for as well. And then when there's a sale, it just pops up, and there's some really good deals on there. It doesn't have to be Black Friday or Cyber Monday or Saturday or whatever the hell it is. You can just sort of do that. And I'm sure there's going to be even bigger sales like around tax time too. So, sort of maybe spend less money, maybe save your money. Okay, maybe I was a little preachier than I wanted to be, but shit, yeah. What else do I got? We've been doing this about an hour. I gave enough shout outs, all that stuff. One World Jiu-Jitsu, aka Sunnyvale. The Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu Grand Prix is coming up early December. They're still looking for black belt super fights, so you can always hit up Mr. Camarillo if you're into that. Otherwise, white through purple belt, I believe it is double elimination, and then brown belt, black belt, there's going to be well, goddamn with the car alarm. You might want to, thank you. Yep, I see you. You fucked up. Anyway, it's double elimination, so for your money, you get at least 2 matches instead of just 1. I mean, if you win, get as many as you have to close your division, right? Anyway, that's Jiu-Jitsu Grand Prix over at Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu in Pleasanton. Awesome tournament. And it's a good group of people if you haven't kicked it already. One World Jiu-Jitsu in Newark, California, 5:30 p.m. This should, if you're taking any jiu-jitsu vacation to the West Coast, we have all kinds of superstars out here. We have all kinds of amazing athletes and some of the creme de la creme, the best of the best, right? From the Caio Terras and the Dave Camarillos to the Queixinhos and the Diaz brothers up in Stockton, to everybody over at AKA, the Clint Cronins and the Mike Prudencios, to the Vu Trans, right? Okay, maybe there's just a lot of legends out here in general. Just kidding. Anyway, if you're thinking about taking a jiu-jitsu vacation, Sunday nights, 5:30, Newark, California, we get over 50 people for open mat. It's free. There's no drop-in. So it's awesome. It's a good time. It's not about affiliations or teams or anything like that. It's about jiu-jitsu. It's about community. And it's about just being jiu-jitsu strong, right? Much love. Thank you, as always, for listening. And again, check out Want versus Need, wantvsneed.com, and at wantvsneed on Instagram. And that's where you're going to find, information about the drops. Right now, they just did the Illest Illest Jiu-Jitsu collaboration with Want versus Need. They're doing 3 colorways, from like the most famous sneaker sort of colorway collaboration, sort of what's in their rotation. So it's ironic the bread colorway is the first one. So the rental car they gave me on this trip, it's a black and red Mustang. I was wearing my black and red Jordans, Breads, Jordan 1s, my favorite. And then they dropped the black and red Illest Want versus Need gi. You say it's tragic, I call it magic, baby. Anyway, thanks for listening. Clint Cronin Show, One World Jiu-Jitsu, aka Sunnyvale. Go check out Want versus Need. Much love to everybody for listening. Sorry about the delay. I'm just gonna start cutting these on my own. If I have a guest, I have a guest. I kind of enjoy having a nice cup of coffee and rapping with you guys solo. We'll do more live stuff. I got one of those new little stabilizer deals and gimbals, so we're gonna do some more vlogging. And we're just going to have fun in general. Any questions, comments, suggestions, please hit me up at Clint Cronin. Email's clint@clintcronin.com. If you have a suggestion of any guests you want to get on here, if you have any questions, hit me up. We can do maybe some live call-in sometime. So as always, thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, and, just be good to each other. Lots of love. Take care.